Hey everybody, this is Austin Roberts over at City Creek Mortgage, and today I want to talk to you about the fact that we have so many first-time homebuyers who are closing upside down on their first home. And the reason for that is the way that typical down payment assistance programs are structured. So today I want to tell you some of the problems with those, and I have a super exciting new product that I think fills a lot of the gaps that these traditional down payment assistance programs leave behind. But first, I want to illustrate this problem to you. So we had somebody call in this week who was saying, hey, we're buying a home using Utah housing, meaning we are not bringing any money in for the down payment. All of our closing costs are covered by a lender credit. The home is $310,000. Can you beat this quote? They sent the quote over to us, and the first thing that we noticed was not the rate, not the closing costs. We'll talk about those later. What we noticed was the loan amount was $322,000 on a $310,000 house. Now, this is a terrifying position for anybody to be in, but especially somebody buying their first home in this price range. So that is issue number one with traditional down payment assistance programs. You have negative equity or zero equity at closing. Problem number two is the fact that you get stuck in these loans because of that second mortgage. This money that they're giving you, it is not a gift. It is not a grant. They are putting a second lien on your property that is paid back to them either when the client refinances or when they sell the house. Because this second lien is sitting behind their first mortgage, most lenders can't refinance them. So clients are stuck. And the problem with being stuck in these down payment assistance programs is that they're usually sold at higher than market rates. So not only do you have to pay the money back, but you are also stuck in a position with a higher monthly payment. And over time, that results in our clients having a higher monthly cost using these programs. And that is why we are so excited to roll out this new product that we have called Dynamo. Now, the big difference from Dynamo to other traditional down payment assistance programs or Utah Housing is the down payment is a grant. This is a grant given to your clients that is completely forgiven at closing. There is no second lien on the property. There is no repayment of this grant. That is very different from Utah Housing or traditional DPAs where that down payment is a loan. There is a second lien on the property, and that must be repaid at some point. Now, the other big difference between Dynamo and other traditional down payment assistance programs is there is no income limit. And that is very different from most DPA programs because with most of them, you have to make just enough money to qualify for these higher rates and higher payments today, but you just can't make enough money to where you're disqualified from the program. And in today's market, that is a very, very tough needle to thread. That is not a problem with Dynamo. Now, here are the other things that you need to know about Dynamo. You are going to take a slightly increased rate up front. The great thing about Dynamo is, like we've said, there is no second loan. So nothing is preventing you from refinancing this loan. There is a minimum holding requirement of 7 payments. And then after that, you can use something called an FHA streamline to refinance the rate to wherever rates are at in 7 months. And with that streamline, there is no income requalification and no appraisal. Now, I want to show you the tangible benefits of using this program, Dynamo, by putting it side by side with the quote that we got from a local lender putting our client in Utah Housing. So in both scenarios, the client was buying the house for $310,000. Using Dynamo, their rate is a little bit higher, but a massive trade-off is this program doesn't come with all the extra costs that Utah Housing does or traditional down payment programs have. In both scenarios, the client was getting an FHA loan of $304,000, but with Utah Housing, they were putting a second lien on the property of over $18,000. With Dynamo, there is no additional loan. So the total loans in these scenarios for Utah Housing was $322,000 versus only $304,000 using Dynamo. With Utah Housing, the client is closing upside down. They have $12,684 in negative equity on this property, and that is very different from where the client is now, closing with $5,600 in equity, which is over an $18,000 swing. Now, because the rate is a little bit elevated with Dynamo, the payment is going to be $105 more. But the key is this client only has to keep this mortgage for 7 payments. So they're going to make 7 payments at that elevated payment totaling a $735 investment. After that, they can refinance using an FHA streamline. But for this $735, the client is closing with instant equity in the home. They do not have a second lien on the property. They had their down payment gifted to them. Now you understand all the tangible benefits that Dynamo has compared to traditional down payment assistance. So if you have any clients that you're working with that are looking at these programs or looking a way to get their down payment covered, but you do not want them going upside down on their first house, I am happy to run some scenarios for you and show you what that looks like. You can email me, austin@citycreekmortgage.com, or you can call or text me 801-618-6867. Have a great day, guys.